In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And welcome everyone to this episode of the Real-Leaders Podcast.
But Scott, you touched on an interesting point about, I think more for-profits can be like nonprofits, and I wish more nonprofits would be like for-profits. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, your example is perfect. It sounds like very much like a just pure, authentic social enterprise model, where just by showing up and doing their business, they're doing, they're creating that impact. And then the problem, and more businesses sort of are having that. They used to call it like double bottom line or dual mission. I think it's just
triple bottom line
mission.
Yeah.
It's like the mission is to do these things, and we've discussed actually in the past, like. You had a lot of for-profit companies that had social missions just sort of weaved into their company, but weren't necessarily B-certs or didn't have a way to quantify what the impact side of what they were doing. Financial metrics are very easy to quantify. Of course, revenue, these things, right? So people get fixated on that, partially for good reason, because it's very important. You need to build a sustainable business. You bring in money, you need to have a return for your shareholders, those types of things. But on the impact side, it can be a lot more amorphous and very, very difficult to quantify the impact. So I think why I say for-profits could learn from nonprofits, because there's so much activity in the nonprofit space about how to quantify and to measure the impact on the program side. So in this case, where this business maybe, I don't know what their structure is, but the same type of thinking and the same effort that's going into quantifying a nonprofit program could be applied to a social enterprise, or could be even applied to a for-profit. And frankly, a lot of the effort that's going into the impact measurement and the framework and all that stuff is also getting fed into programs like B certification. So that program has gotten so much better and so much more rigorous. So it's focused more on sort of for-profit social enterprise B Corps versus nonprofits. But it's starting to bleed over. So the work that B Cert's doing and some of the work like the Gates Foundation, Classy, and others are doing on the nonprofit measurement side are starting to come together. And I just see a world where you're going to have unification there. So every business or nonprofit will be using similar types of methodologies to measure their impact. So you might be a nonprofit in most of what you do is on the impact side, or you might be a for-profit in some of what you do is on the impact side. But I truly believe that every business, every nonprofit will eventually be measuring this and communicating it to the world, and even be valued by that side in a much stronger fashion than they are today.